everyone, and welcome to another episode of Up to Your Ears. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Josie.
Josie, who do we have today as a guest?
Today we have the one and only amazing, super talented musician and artist, Swamburger from Orlando, Florida. I'm very excited. Yay!
Welcome! Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate you spending some time with us today.
You got it. But I'm equipped to back the talk. Blaming on the beat though. It puts my opinion on the people.
How have you been?
I've been super good. Through all of this, I've been really, really, really good.
I don't know if you know, Swam is also, not only is he a musician, but he's a badass artist, and all of the Solilaquists of Sound artwork and everything is done by Swam. On a side note, a different note, something that you may not have known or learned about Swam is that before we started the interview, is that he ran for mayor in Orlando, which I remember.
That's awesome.
Yes.
It was a while back, but I remember that. And I still have that Swamburger for mayor shirt. I do.
Yeah.
That
You
was
told me about that, but I thought you were joking. I thought you were just like, no, this guy's so cool. People are like, Swamp for mayor.
no.
And it was like for real, filled out the paperwork and was like, I'm
Right.
doing things.
It was like,
Yeah.
also I put out a sticker that was that said, "Who do we ask to lower the price of gas?" That was a big one during that time too.
Yeah.
I'm talking my language. Now everybody's saying my song with you. Who are you? Yeah, I thought we were connected. Do what you expected me to be, not you. Yeah.
We devised this very hilarious and clever questionnaire for you to answer.
Right.
So I asked kind of some silly questions, just like get to know you kind of questions. And Josie has some questions that are a little more thought-provoking. And then we'd like to give you an opportunity to promote some of your latest work or whatever current project you have going on, and give you a little bit of a platform to share about you. Are you ready?
Hell yeah, I'm with it.
All right. My first question to you, my friend, is what is your favorite cartoon, or what was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Ooh. Favorite cartoon. Oh man, it's so hard to pick from. Because you had you had like Silver Hawks. Yeah, the Silver Hawks. That was like one that I was like, oh my goodness. When I was real young, the Flintstones, that was one. Man, what else? Tom and Jerry, of course, like Looney Tunes stuff, Bugs Bunny. There's so many to name. But then, like at one point, I did really get heavily into Rambo. That was like one that came on channel. I think it was 32 or something.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a cartoon either.
Yeah, it was a cartoon, Rambo, and then for a short while they had one about Bruce Lee, and that would have been my favorite, but I don't know what happened in that series.
That's crazy.
Your poor mom, this kid watching Rambo cartoons.
Oh man, it was amazing. I would watch it right before I go to school too.
Great.
How many lamps did you break?
Yeah,
lamps. Right? Wow, lamps. I never broke a lamp.
Oh, good for you.
Never broke a lamp. Never broke a lamp. Nah, I never broke a lamp. Even when I used to dress up like Prince in my mother's boots, I still never broke a lamp.
Swam, do you have a photo of that?
Oh man, I wish I did. I don't think I do.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
if you could have one thing added to your studio, either your artist studio or your recording studio, one like dream piece of equipment, what would it be?
Montana black paint, you know, spray paint, you know. The color would be, let's go with shrimp.
Okay.
How deeply can we say we know what we need?
This is kind of a music-y question. Beats or melody?
Beats.
Beats.
Come on now.
Gotta be beats so fast.
Come on now.
Beats.
Come on now. As soon as you said beat.
Like, Swam, though, you do have lots of melody in you. I'm just saying. Like, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, melody is definitely there. I think that's what helps differentiate me from, you know, other MCs actually. And, you know, hanging around Alex so much, you know, and so many singers.
Oh my gosh.
You know, that definitely is introduced. But
For sure.
you play me any kind of beat, any kind of rhythm, it's just over.
Yeah.
That's when I lose my mind.
Yeah. I'm big for the drums myself.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more from me. Phone at the table, yes or no?
Phone at the table?
Mm-hmm. Like when you're eating.
Oh, hell no. Like, I mean, unless it's, you know, I do a lot of business moves and stuff, so I kind of rarely get to have that situation. But, yeah, I'd much rather throw my phone away and, you know, focus on what I got to do at the table.
Oh, that's
Good
good.
answer.
That's good. Yes.
Very good answer. All right. Last one for me.
I like these questions.
What's
I have
that?
a series of questions, but I kind of
Wait.
Yeah, these are dope.
Okay. I have a series of questions, but I kind of like once I feel out my guest a little bit, I'm kind of like, all right. Then I kind of pick and choose.
Okay.
Do you write letters? And if you do, to who or what letters?
I write letters to all of my friends, to that potential wifey. Man, I write letters and poems frequently, actually. Yeah, even just to say what up, like I'll write it in a funny and creative way, you know, to tell my friends I love them or just shout them out, something like that. But I get that from my pops because my pops, the way that he got with my mother was he had to write poems to her, but give them to the uncles, that, you know, the brothers, to give to her, because her father, my grandfather, thought that my pops was a gangster, so he wouldn't allow him to get close to my mom's. So the way that he could get close to her was write her poems or letters.
Oh.
And so that's where I get it from. So that's a great question. Like that's right up my alley. I'd write letters very frequently.
Oh,
Listen,
yay,
I love
Swam.
that.
That's so romantic. I love that.
I know. I already have visions of your dad in like a suit, like, you know, elbowing the brother, saying like, "Hey, give
Yeah.
this to your sister from me."
I like to know you better than I know myself. Ooh, sometimes I tire of trying to get a message across.
When I was a kid, I used to play hide and go seek without them even knowing. So they would be wandering, or they'd be walking around the house doing something, and I would be just randomly hiding in different spots. Well, one of these times I randomly hid in a closet and closed the door and like found that I was bumping into like all these like rigid like kind of things, right? And so I turned the light on in there. It was a bunch of books, a bunch of them. Like they went up to the ceiling.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and yeah, there was a lot of these books, and it's you know, they're notebooks, they're stuff, you know, stuff that you write notes in, subject books, and so I started looking in them, and in all of them were letters or poems to my mother.
All right. Last one for me is,
Okay.
have you read all those books on your shelf, or are they just for show?
Oh, I read them all.
Very good.
My favorite is Michel Foucault, The Order of Things.
Ooh.
That's like my favorite philosopher in the world, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm an MC. You gotta read, You the griot.
So
You're a person
what
you need to read.
Yeah, true.
exactly?
But especially MCs.
I'm gonna hand you over to Josie.
Right on. Hey, I love those questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for answering them.
You got it.
My question,
Yeah.
my first question for you, Swam, is what was your very first concert that you ever went to?
I think it was Curtis Blow.
What?
Yeah, Curtis Blow.
Amazing.
It was like Curtis Blow and a bunch of other cats. Like it was wild.
Wow, that is very wow. That's so
Yeah,
wow.
that was crazy.
This
That
guy,
was crazy.
this drummer that we had on was one of our first episodes. A guy named Jake Nager. He's from San Diego, drummer, but
Mhm.
he has played with Curtis Blow.
Wow.
And he's amazing.
Wow.
He's played drums with Curtis Blow, De La Soul, like all these really great artists. But you should check out that episode because you probably love his band. They're
Okay.
they're really badass.
Yeah, I'll check them out.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 2.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah. If you happen to find yourself on death row, just hypothetically if,
Okay.
what would your last meal be?
Macaroni and cheese, vegan,
Vegan mac and cheese?
all day.
Vegan mac and cheese. Is there a place that you love so much that you've had it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is the jam, from someplace like that you can name?
Oh,
Or,
from someplace.
well, I'm just asking, like, is it something that you make, or is it something like, oh, the vegan mac and cheese here is so good?
It would probably be Alex's mac and cheese.
Okay, that's good enough. She's badass.
Yeah, it'd probably be Alexandra. Her
Yes.
mac and cheese. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. You guys have played tons of places and toured, and you've been around. What is the strangest, weirdest place you've ever played?
Missoula, Montana. You see how fast?
That was
He's
like,
like some
You
crazy
see how
stuff going
fast-
down there.
You see how fast I knew that? You know what I mean? Missoula, Montana.
what was that
So-
all about?
Okay, so we get ready to play our show.
Uh-huh.
As we're playing our show, there's some people in the crowd. We've never been there. There's some people in the crowd that know every lyric. I'm like, how do y'all know every lyric? Like, what the hell is going on? Now, in Missoula, Montana, at least the part that we were in, it's like nothing but like bears, you know what I'm saying? Squirrels, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like one little record shop, you know what I mean? Coffee
And
shops.
there's squirrels.
It was a tiny little record
No,
shop. They
man.
only had your record, so everybody learned it.
No, that's what it sounded like. That's what it felt like when we got there. I was like, man, like, and it was packed when we first got there.
That's rad.
It was packed, like, and they screamed so loud that we couldn't even hear ourselves in the monitors.
Oh my gosh, that's like something that happened with the Beatles a lot. You know, can you imagine?
Yo, we could not. You can't even hear the beat in the monitor. Like, so you rhyming off beat. Yo, no, we definitely got to a point where we had to tell the crowd, like, look, we love all of this, all of this love that's coming up here, but we can't even hear the beat when y'all are screaming. And that just made them scream even louder. Like, that was high energy, but definitely like probably the weirdest spot that I've been to that I would love to go again. I mean, on the tours that we did, that was like our favorite spot to go because it was
That's awesome.
always packed
Shout out
and
to
it was
those.
always the same reaction.
Okay, next question
Missoula.
for you, Swam.
Okay.
What is your dream tour? Who would you tour with?
My dream tour?
Yeah, your dream tour.
Man. Okay. Right now, my dream tour would probably be tour with Miss Hill,
Ooh.
Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
I'd also want to tour with, so it'd be Solilaquists of Sound, Lauryn Hill, Bahamadia.
Yeah,
and lastly, well, not in this order, Solilaquists of Sound, Lauryn Hill, Bahamadia, and Freestyle Fellowship. Oh my God, that would be. I'll probably die after that night. You know what I'm saying?
Stay alive.
That would be crazy. That would be a crazy tour.
Mom, I have two more questions for you. What is the strangest or weirdest thing, or coolest thing, something that stands out, let's just say, that a fan has ever given to you, like as a gift, or said to you, like after a show or just in general?
Oh man, crack.
And did
Hey man, you guys are amazing. I got you a gift.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, thank you. But can you step behind the ropes? You know what I'm saying? We're entertaining right now.
Yeah.
Oh, just take this. Just take this. Okay. I look in my hand, it's crack.
I would have been like, what? No!
You're like,
Crack rock, baby.
wow.
Highest
You're like,
Oh man.
Thank you.
though.
You want to be great.
I was like, man, do you hear what we rhyming about right now? This is not
No,
what
he
we
was on
do.
crack.
Hey
Exactly.
man.
Wow.
He was, yeah, that was crazy.
My last question for you, Swan.
Okay.
What advice would you give your 15-year-old self?
About life, about music, about everything in general?
About anything. If you could go back in time and walk up to your 15-year-old self and tell them one thing, what would it be?
When I look back, you know, at myself, like I've everything that I've done, I feel like I did it the right way. I did it the best way that I could. So there's nothing that I would redo or tell myself to do in order for me to redo in a different way. You know?
That's interesting. Yeah, no, that's really cool. That says a lot about you.
Yeah.
That's really
It
awesome.
probably says a lot about your mom and parents.
Yeah.
You know, that they gave you they taught you good tools to work with.
Yo, that's a great word.
Yeah.
You know, to use as far as the learning was concerned, because that's exactly what they were. They were tools.
Yeah.
And once you learn how to use those tools on the right things, you know, you find out, man, this is easier than everybody else is talking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
That was a great question.
Thank you. What's going on with you? Do you have new recordings coming out? Do you have new art coming out? What's going on
Oh
with
my
your
God.
label?
All right, so I guess we'll package this in like 3 different areas.
Okay.
One is the music. There's a lot of music coming from myself, as well as MF Shalem, which used to be the old producer / DJ for Sage Francis.
Right.
And so we call ourselves the Levy, Levy. Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff coming out.
Isn't Sage Francis really kind of the reason why you ended up being signed to?
Yes.
Anti-
Yeah, he's our catalyst.
Right. Yeah. So that's amazing that you're coming back around to that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have about 3 to 4 albums of stuff that we've just
Wow.
been working on. I also created an umbrella record label with another guy by the name of Frank from All Good Funk Alliance, and it is called Pause, Play, Record. We have a lot of our stuff that we're going to be releasing ourselves from that avenue. The art, I have an anime show that I'm working on with a guy by the name of Travis Blaze. It's called The Groms. We're going to be doing it independently, but we're going to be shopping it to different networks as well. I'm providing the music for that. I'll be working with Charlie Tuna on some of this stuff from Jurassic 5. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Like working with Blueprint as well from Rhyme Sayers or Weightless Records. So much. Okay, so that's the art stuff, right?
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and part with, I guess, like the vibes of today. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? What everybody, I feel people need to pay attention to heavily is social reform, right? But social reform in the way of, like, in a way that is very, very, very creative. We're not talking about making it hard. All we're talking about is creating a new way to have people pay attention to the social movements that are pretty much created every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, racism is a social movement that created and still is creating a huge amount of social change. If you want that to go away, you have to create a new social movement that you're going to stick with forever.
Forever. It's a way of life.
That is called creating social reform.
Right?
Exactly.
It's in your mind. It's who you are, right?
You do have to, like, actually practice it. You know what I'm saying? So that it is a known thing. Every day you're creating something that builds towards it, so that you can have a better life. You know what I'm saying? And at least better understanding about what it is that you believe that you're living. So a lot of people call it life, but sometimes it's just existing.
That's a lot. You have a lot going on, Swamp. I'm super proud of you. Everyone who's watching this, it's going to just be like, and who's that? What's going on with them? And like, I love how you guys work so well together. It's so awesome.
There's a joint that's called Take My Hand, and it is by Darktimesunshine. And it features myself and Aesop Rock.
No way. That's amazing. This has been really fun.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much
It's
for
so
giving
good
us some of your time.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Of course.
doing this.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for joining us today with our guest, Swamburger of Solilaquists of Sound. Amazing, amazing human in all respects. Talented, fun. This has been Up to Your Ears. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Josie.
If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It'll just put our videos into your recommended feed. And then when you log on to YouTube, it'll say, hey, there's a new episode from Up to Your Ears. Sounds good.
It sounds real good. See you guys.
Bye.
You wanna know what this is about? Three things. Love growing up in the beginning of a time. I put the two together, my new and something my own. Giving a hope for my fault, thought all alone, and I am not. Thanks, Pops. You're looking out on the gift of gab. A problem I never had. As a youth, I'm human, but you make me supernatural. Could have been anything but according to my life.